I'm Madeleine Edgar, and I'm going to do a little short video for you for movements that you can do in sitting on a plane, in a train, or anywhere. Car. And yes, so just notice how you're sitting in your seat. And if it's possible, you can move forward and sit more to the front of your chair, but if it isn't, if you're cramped, just sit at the back of your seat, but feel the weight on both your sit bones and really have your tail right at the back of the seat and some support behind your lower back if you need it. So to keep the circulation moving in your feet and to exercise those muscles, get the blood pumping, we'll just do the right foot, and you can repeat this then with the left foot. So maybe straighten out your right foot and just gently move it up and down without making an effort. It's really important with the Feldenkrais method that you do small, slow movements because we're talking to your brain through your foot. So is it easier to put your foot up or down? And what do your toes do when you move your foot up and down? Do the toes make any effort to move as well or not? Do they just stay on the end of your feet? So let's try a little variation. With the Feldenkrais method, we do lots of variations of movement to give your brain more choices. So as you pull your foot up, can you curl your toes down? And as you put your foot down, can you extend your toes towards the ceiling? So try that a few times. Foot up, curl the toes down. Foot down, extend the toes towards the ceiling. And at first this might seem quite strange because it's the opposite to what you would probably normally do. So just play with that. What do you feel? This is just for you, for your particular foot, your personality. Do you have to think about it? And rest for a moment. And then simply move your foot up and down again. And notice, do the toes want to join in now? And if so, what do they want to do? So let's try taking the foot up with the toes extending towards the ceiling and down when they curl towards the floor. Foot up, toes up, foot down, toes down. Do it a few times. And you can do this with your foot resting on the floor or in the air, whichever you prefer. Probably best to try both ways, more alternatives. Okay, and just rest for a moment. And now just see if you can wiggle your toes. Can you actually move your toes individually? And there's nothing wrong if you can't. So how do your toes wiggle? Can you spread them apart and bring them together? And even if you can't do it, just do it in your imagination, because when you imagine doing a movement, your brain actually does engage and send the messages to the muscles. You'll just have a very minimal movement. So you don't need to do a big movement. In fact, the smaller you do it, the more your brain pays attention. Okay, and rest. And now begin to turn with your foot in the air or on the ground, whichever you prefer. Turn your foot right and left. And go softly and gently and just notice, again, which movement is easier, inwards or outwards. And does the movement feel smooth or a bit jumpy? The quality of the movement's really important. And for most of us, one direction will be easier than the other. Okay, and stop now, put your foot on the floor and just gently rock your weight to the outside of your foot and then to the inside of your foot. And notice how much of yourself is engaged in this. Is it just the foot that you can feel and the ankle? Is there something happening in the knee or maybe in your pelvis or in your back? And you can probably see that as I'm doing it, my whole body is involved because it's all connected. It's no good strengthening one part of your body because everything we do with the whole self. Okay, rest again. And now begin to make a circle with your foot going clockwise. And go slowly enough that you can notice again the quality of the movement. How round is your circle, or does it dive off in some places, or go zigzaggy, or jump? We're often quite surprised when we pay attention and actually feel what we're doing. And then a few times go anti-clockwise. And notice, is that easier or smoother or rounder or more square or even oblong? So really let the movement be from your ankle, but you may well feel some connections further up again in your knee, perhaps in your hip a little bit. Excellent. Okay, and bring your foot down and rest, and just take a moment now to notice how your right foot and leg and the right side of you feels compared to the left side. And you can go on and repeat this then, reversing the directions to do it with the left foot and paying particular attention to noticing any differences between your left side and your right side. So that one will do for this part of the trip. Bon voyage!